This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. For boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100 to get $100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions do apply. And we're also brought to you by the SGPN's Big Game Squares contest, $1,000 prize pool, and completely free to enter. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/squares to enter today. All right, DJs, welcome back for the Pebble Beach DFS show. It's your boy, Boston Capper, with the god of golf himself, Steve Shermer. Steve, how excited are we for this?
Oh, I'm thrilled. I got even more excited as I went down the DFS board. I'm like, oh, it really drops off after $9,500.
It's bad.
It is bad, but you know what? I mean, Jack Nicklaus used to say, he could always weed out the field when he comes to a really hard golf tournament because people would complain. He'd be in the locker room, they bitch and moan and stuff. And I kind of feel like it's a little bit like this week. I'm trying to keep optimistic about this shit field. And then maybe if I'm trying to have a positive attitude, maybe either the gambling gods will reward me or maybe I'll just do a little better in DFS this week because everybody else is basically complaining like I do.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll be curious to see where the ownership goes to on some of these plays. We can get into that. You want to touch on anything that we talked about already? Anything outside of that? You just want to jump into the tiers?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we did a pretty thorough job beating up the golf course yesterday.
Yep.
I want to apologize for the video and audio quality for yesterday's show. Hopefully it's fixed. It kind of crapped on me for the show.
Looks
today.
good now. Looks good now.
It is. So, we'll knock on wood. And then we're probably going to zoom through this just in case everything goes to shit again. So, but
then we can zoom through it because it's a garbage field anyway. So
I guess why don't I ask? I guess this is kind of like a topic about the $10,000 section.
Sure.
And this is kind of along trends that I've been talking about for the past couple of weeks. That basically the top of the board has been doing very well.
Yeah.
So if you look at the last 2 weeks, Amex, pretty much every big name didn't bomb out. I think the worst one was like Cam Young in like T26. Which
what about fucking Zalatoris?
No, Amex, buddy.
Oh, Amex. Sorry.
Amex.
Sorry.
Yes, it's okay. I know you're really triggered about what happened last week. I'll get to him. But at Amex, you had John Rahm wins. Scheffler was top 10. You had Xander, Tom Kim.
Yeah.
Cantlay had a good Sunday with a T26 finish. Like, I know that's disappointing, but it's in DFS, you can recover from that.
Right.
And then look at last week, pretty much every top name was big. So I guess this leads us to the $10,000 conversation. You got Jordan Spieth at 10-6. You got Victor Hovland 10-3, Matthew Fitzpatrick 10-1, Tom Hoagie $10,000, and they're all popular.
Yeah, I know.
So I guess what I'm thinking about is squeezing two of these guys in there. What do you think?
Oh, I mean, you're gonna have to fucking sell me on some fucking guys under 6K to make that work.
All right. Holy shit. Let's take, because I think looking at these guys, like, last week was John Rahm with a very top heavy field of like Finau and Xander, all those guys. He was 11-6?
He was 11-6, yeah.
Yeah. And we're looking at essentially three really premium players. And no offense to Tom Hoagie, I think you're a really nice player. I think you're a step below that. And there's only a $500 difference between him and Hoagie, and there's only a $200 difference between Hoagie and Hovland. Like, I think Hovland is worth more than that. So I guess if I told you could have Hovland and Fitzpatrick, and then you'd have $7,400 per player to play with, does that interest you?
Yeah, I guess, but So I should take out that. So, because there's like two $7,500 guys who can get down to like 72 and a half.
Yeah. With
two players to go. I mean, whatever. They're all fucking bums down here, right? So, like, I mean, what the hell is the difference between a $7,400 and a $7,000 player this week? Fucking zilch.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't really see a big difference between like Bo Hostler and Peter Malnati. I think both of them have basically the same range of outcomes this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you can make it work.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Corn Ferry guys who are kind of lower, like, like a Ben Taylor, Kevin Yu. Like, they look really good in the stats. They've been, they've made a little bit of noise so far this year. You could justify with that. And actually, if you do it, maybe if you do like a Peter Malnati, like a high 6 guy, there is a chance that you might be able to squeeze another guy in the 8s. So I think I actually like going with 2 guys.
I'm gonna play around with that. I can play around with that. And so I guess it just the 10K range. So like, what are we doing with Jordan this week?
I mean, I think last year, he came in kind of slumping too, and then it was just all right. Just had faith in Jordan Spieth at this golf course, and it kind of just turned around his game. That's why I bet him last year. think about the last year. I think his number was 25-1.
It was,
which is
it was in the 20s. So let's just pull it back up. So when the fuck was this last year? So the third throw players.
Yeah, he was not doing well coming in.
Why can't I find? Oh, there's Pebble. Yeah, well, no, he had missed the cut at the Farmers. Yeah, 21 at the Century, 18 at CJ.
All right, so 21st at the Century is bad.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, that's right. Like 18 at the CJ, also bad. 20.
But that was last year though.
Yeah, no. Okay. So I'm just saying, like the form leading in.
Okay.
Right. So it wasn't as bad. I don't know. I feel like he's been lost for like a couple months at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, let's play devil's advocate with him. He was first round leader at the Sony. If he doesn't blow up on Friday, I mean, we're probably all hot for Trafford Spieth this week.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that there was a reason for concern because he blew the fuck up. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's really what it is, right? So like horses for courses type shit versus the play he's in right now, or the form he's in right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him yet. I'm certainly not fucking betting him at 8-1.
No,
his top 20 number actually wasn't bad. I don't think.
We'll talk about that tomorrow. You're gonna be mad at what some of them are available to me.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm always mad.
Well, it's in the Discord if you really want to just get mad after the show.
So, I don't have any sports to yell at tonight. I'm not gonna get mad tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch. Right. I'm gonna watch some TV. Just relax.
Okay. All right. Besides Spieth and squirreliness and Hovland and Fitzpatrick, I guess who's your favorite of the three?
I guess Hovland by default because I hate Fitzpatrick. I know he's a good, he should be good. But when was the last time he fucking played?
He played Century.
Yeah.
Same thing with Hovland.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll go with Hovland. Around the green shit scares me a little bit with him, but I know you told me he won the U.S. Amateur here. He's done some good things here. And I mean, he's so good with his fucking irons that, and it's a different type of rough, right? I feel like this type of rough he's okay with. It's the ones where they shave it down and it rolls off into a collection area. I feel like that's where he gets into a shit ton of trouble. What do you think about the bunkers? Is he gonna have problems with the bunkers here?
I mean, he can. I've seen him personally have trouble with the bunkers. I remember when he was an amateur.
No, I know. Yeah, he's not great out of the bunkers right now. So I'm saying, how in play are these bunkers? He's going to do 2 days at Pebble if he makes the cut. So
what I'm saying is, I remember specifically. I'm trying to do an anecdote about what I've seen with him at Pebble.
Oh, sorry.
In 2019, he was doing very well tee to green, and then he happened a bunker on the 14th, the par 5. He took 3 shots to get out.
Oof.
Yeah. Now, what if I told you though that over his last 12 rounds, Victor Hovland is gaining 0.4 strokes per round around the green?
It's pretty solid. It's a huge
change for him.
That's like getting back in the day when you get an even performance from Keegan on the greens. That's a fucking win.
And actually, over his last 50 rounds, he's only losing 0.03. So he's basically just field average now.
Damn.
Yeah. Now I don't know because they don't track and separate bunkers or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just okay. Maybe he's just chipping off tight lies. Maybe it's been the deep rough. I don't know, but I do know that. Listen, he's won the U.S. Amateur here. He came T12 as an amateur. I think he was T38 back in 2020, but most of that week was because he didn't putt very well on the POA. If you look at his last couple of results on POA, they've been very good.
Yeah.
So now that you add that to it, I think of the three, Fitzpatrick, Spieth, and Hovland, I think I like Hovland the best. But honestly, I don't have a problem with all three. And I think trying to jam in 2 or 3 in your DFS lineup and then try to make things work with some low popular guys, I think that's a good play this week.
Yeah, well, listen, I like it. I'll probably mess around with it and see what I can get.
Okay.
All right. Build on that, but yeah, I mean, you just can't ignore fucking Spieth's course record here. Course history here. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, and his price is relative to everybody else.
Yes, perfectly reasonable.
I think. I mean, if I was really going to base this with this entire field and how it is, I think Spieth, Hovland, and Fitzpatrick should be close to 11, and then Hoagie at 10.
Yes. Yeah. No. Absolutely. I mean, think about it. He's $1,200 more expensive than Matt Kuchar. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's $900 more expensive than Andrew Putnam, who I like this week.
Yeah,
but Andrew Putnam, Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
All right. Why don't we take a break and then we'll start breaking down the rest of this crap field.
Oh, God. All right. Well, listen, WynnBET is the official online sports book of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. WynnBET is active in a bunch of states, and there are tons of ways to win, including live betting and same-game parlays, a.k.a. WynnBET's Build Your Own Bet. The big game is here, and WynnBET has you covered. Great promos, odds, and payouts are happening right now. WynnBET, ready to play? You sign up today to receive a special offer. You bet $100, you get $100. It is limited to state availability. And, of course, if you hit the longest or if you hit the biggest long shot parlay of the week, you get $1,000 free credit. There's so much to choose from. All you got to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET so they know that we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. Offer is subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBET.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
All right. Now it's going to get fun. $9,000 range. I'm going to throw it to you.
Yeah, that's fine. So
the Seamus Power sandwiched between all the popular guys.
Yeah,
so I guess I know you like him. So why don't you talk about him right now? How you feel?
Well, I did like him. He's fucking sold, man.
Ignore that.
I can't. It's impossible. You have to factor that in.
But he can still have a good finish. Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Fine. Yeah, listen, he's great around the green. Obviously, he played well here last year. Which course did he fuck up on? He fucked up on like the
Monterey.
Spyglass? Monterey. And yeah, man, I think he's a solid player. He played over in Dubai. What did he get? A top 20 over there?
Yeah, he actually hit the ball great. He gained 8 strokes tee to green that week.
Yeah. So, I mean, and he's okay on POA. And he is, like, to me, in my brain, right? Like, he's a much better player than, or he has more win equity than like Mav McNeely and Putnam, like the guys who just don't fucking win, right? I know this is DFS, but still, you know what I mean? Like that first place makes a difference. But he's, like I said, like I was literally the first bet I put in on Monday morning because the odds actually came up before noon and I could get a decent number. And of course, it gets smoked. But you know, whatever. I like Seamus, man. I mean, with the talent in this field, like he's on par with Tom Hoagie. I mean, obviously, Hoagie's a much better wedge player. That's the only thing that kind of worries me about Seamus. But he's done well here. He does well at shorter courses, even if he's not good with his wedges. So I don't know. Like, I'm fine with Seamus. I like McNeely too. God, so
man.
I know.
I know it pains you.
It does. I say like it. He's so good. He's such a good putter, man. Like, and he putts really well on Poe. He's got a good course history here. He played okay at Farmers, like whatever, like good little tune up, right? So I like him. I don't like Rose. I've never played Cooch ever. Even though Cooch would probably be good here in theory, right?
Cooch is actually very good here in theory, but in practice, not quite as much.
Yeah. And then Denny McCarthy, Keith Mitchell, and Joel Damon. I think that's just like an ownership play there. Like McCarthy's super low on. That's not gonna stay like that. He's a fucking DFS darling. Keith Mitchell's a stud off the tee. And surprisingly, he got a T15 here last year. He's got a pretty decent course history here. And I would have, because so much of the off the tee is negated, I figured he wouldn't be as good.
Keith Mitchell?
Yeah.
So that's the only good finish pretty much on POA he's ever had.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So if you look at his results, so at the T12, other than that, though, his results on the West Coast in California is pretty dodgy. So yeah, T12, and then I count only 2 other made cuts in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 events. So 4 out of 13 cuts in California.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's
not.
But
I like Damon. I figured he'd be more popular than he is. Maybe it's because he's rusty as shit. And he just had a baby. People are a little scared, but I mean, like you said, in theory, this is a course that should definitely fit him. If his ownership stays low, I don't hate it. I like Damon better than Mitchell, but I think I like fucking McNeely the most. So gross.
Okay.
So gross.
I mean, I kind of like Putnam this week.
Okay.
T Ford Sony.
Yep.
What didn't he missed the cut? I think at Amex.
No, he made the cut. T36.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, T36.
T30. Okay, not bad. He's got the second place as Zozo. Did really well here last year. His proximity numbers aren't all that good from under 150. but he hits a lot of greens in those from that range. He's one of the leaders in that category.
And he puts like a champ on this shit.
Yeah, and he's awesome putter. So I think that's a great recipe for success at this place. I like how he's been playing really well over the last kind of year or so. Yeah. I think people might scoff like, "Oh, $9,700 Andrew Putnam," although the ownership is definitely not reflecting that. Although it's less than McNeely.
Yep.
So maybe you will get a little bit of break. I kind of like Andrew Putnam this week. I think
yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. He's one of the losers that I was debating on fucking betting on. Mm-hmm. It's just so hard to stomach some of these outright numbers. But it's so like it's funny. I don't care about DFS pricing because I just understand the field is what it is. Right? My brain just can't wrap my head around how bad like fucking betting Matt McNeely at 18 or 17 to 1. What?
Okay.
What? So gross.
All right.
Well, what do you think about the lower half?
The lower half? I mean, I think I agree with you on Joel Damon. I mean, he hasn't played though, which is a little risky. And I wish we would get a little bit more break on his ownership. I mean, it's not that high though.
No, it's not.
So, I mean, that might be okay. I mean, like in theory, again, pretty accurate, really good with the short irons. Doesn't have a great history putting on POA, but he did fine here, I think, last year. He's got a good history here. Yep. I don't know. I can never get there with McCarthy. I know there's the ownership with him.
Yeah.
I can't. I look at these iron numbers and like that's like the one thing. Like if you read my article, like positive correlation of good iron play success here is the iron play, and he's kind of defied it. And I never really want to be on that side. I guess
makes sense.
So I don't know if I can stomach going to McCarthy. I think if I had to choose between Old Man Rose and Old Man Kuchar, because honestly they're kind of similar now. Yeah. They both kind of hit their shorter irons pretty good now. They both are pretty good putters. I think I might just go with the ownership in Kuchar at 8% because last year Rose did kind of a similar thing coming in. He was really good at Torrey and then he bombed out at AT&T Pebble. And I think actually looking at his results, I think he's got like a T6 here like way long ago. But other than that US Open at Pebble, like at the AT&T hasn't been all that good.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's it. I mean, I like Seamus too. I like the ownership break with it. I like the fact he had a really good showing over in Dubai. Had a week off to kind of get over here, collect himself.
Yeah.
But honestly, if I'm kind of liking the two guys in the 10s,
you're not playing anybody in here.
No, I'm skipping these guys. There's a few guys in the 8s I like that if you're actually creative with your lineup, you can fit one guy in the lower half. You go 2 guys in the 10s. So
definitely.
I think I'm good with that.
All right, well, you like in the 8th?
Okay. So I'm a little embarrassed. I guess not embarrassed. I think I've seen his name bad around.
Mm-hmm.
I like Thomas Dietrich this week. So the ownership doesn't look like it's too crazy. I know this is like cocaine for you, basically.
I know.
Okay.
So bad.
So Thomas Dietrich, T37 last week. He had a really bad Sunday, but he was kind of in the mix for a top 20 heading into Sunday. T26 at Amex, pretty respectable. You look at some of these shorter courses he played last fall. T15 at Mayakoba, 2nd at Bermuda. T12 at Fortnite, a West Coast. It's a bent POA green, but they're mostly POA. They're mostly California, like that strain. So I know you can kind of do it on the West Coast here. Really good short iron numbers with their proximity. Good putter as well. I like me some Thomas Dietrich this week.
I like him too. Shocking, I know.
I know. And I mean, Alex Smalley is pretty popular. It's his stat. He pops in the stats models. He's been hitting the irons really, really good over the last couple of weeks. I think the concern about him is that putting on POA has never really been all that good for him. He's a Southeastern guy.
Yeah.
So, I think that could be, and his course history, I think last year he didn't play very well. So that, I don't know how I feel about it. This DFS play, there's some outright prices on him that might be a little more tempting as like boom or bust.
Yeah.
I think of the two, I think I probably prefer Dietrich. I think he fits a little more what I like as far as like the model, especially with the short irons. He's been statistically a little better than Smalley in that category.
Okay. I like it. What do you think about, so I like Taylor Moore. What do you think about Moore?
I can never figure, I don't get the love. I don't get what people love about him.
Well, I mean, if you take a look, like when he spikes, right? Like
He does.
he spikes. It Poe is his best putting service. Now I don't know what the sample size is. I didn't think.
Well, here's the thing. I got him losing strokes on Poa. On
So I have him
California,
showing,
I have him losing strokes in
so
California.
that's the California.
Yeah.
But I mean, so look, when he spikes, right? And he's coming in good form. He came in 11th at the Farmers. He gained almost 9 strokes total, right? And most of it was tee to green and approach.
Okay. I understand the argument. I would also like to point out his short iron numbers are garbage.
Oh, garbage.
Garbage.
I see it. And like I said, I might be a little biased, right? Because I got him on like the year-long fantasy team when he did well last week. But he played he played decent in stretches during the summer.
He did.
Wyndham, Rocket, Barbasol, John Deere, gross. But I mean, whatever, man. And he's 8,100 and in a field like this, and he came in T16 here last year.
I know
right?
he did.
So what was his form coming in last year at the Pebble? 64th miscut.
So maybe he's used up his good performance already.
No, I'm saying like he was in way worse form and still performed well here last.
Okay. I think I think Taylor Moore is a pretty trendy name. I've never really been able to get around to the guy.
Yeah.
I've never really seen a lot out of his game that really impresses me. I know he pops up every now and then. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't really think of definitive Taylor Moore moments over the last year or so.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's just me.
That's fair. What about so this is a guy who just irritates me by how he looks, but EVR.
So I actually kind of like EVR.
Yeah, it's so hard to root for him, and he's gonna melt down on Sunday. But hey, he looked good at the MX.
Well, that's the thing. So he was battling injuries the second half of last year. Took a little time off, and then he was a little rusty coming back. He played a couple of Euro Tour events, didn't really all that great. And then randomly he has a T6 at Amex.
Yeah. Short
iron numbers on him are pretty good, at least proximity wise.
Yeah, top 25 in the field.
I think I could get behind EVR. His ownership isn't really crazy.
8K? No, sub 10.
Yeah, so that's actually the guy that if you go 2 guys above 10 and then you go kind of dumpster diving a little bit, you can fit a guy like EVR or even your Taylor Moore if you really like to. You might have about $8,300 left to play with. So if you like Taylor Moore, you like EVR, you can fit one of those guys with 2 guys above 10, and then you'll have to get a little ugly down at the bottom. But I don't think there's much of a difference between high 7s and high 6s this week.
No, I agree. I mean, you could even take a guy like just jamming 2 10s, and you can go down and take like an Hammer, or even like a Lucas Glover, somebody who's got good course history here,
right?
Who knows the program. So yeah, so let's say I threw Knox in there at 7,500. You get Glover at 68, and then you get 7,300 still with 2 10Ks and an 8K.
Okay. Anything for Nick Taylor at all?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I feel like he's somebody who I get excited about and never get it right. Got caught at the Amex, did fine at the Sony. He's good with the proximity numbers. Good around the green. His ownership's a little high. He's probably just a bet.
Yeah, good with the score. Good with the scoring numbers too. He's pretty good at converting from that range as well.
Yeah, I'll probably stick with a bet for him.
Okay. All right. 7,000 range.
Oh, yeah, before we do that, let's talk about the squares that the boys got going on. The SGPN is giving away $1,000 in their big game squares contest. It's completely free to enter. All you need to do is follow the Sports Gambling Podcast Network on Spotify and give them a rating. Then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/squares to enter for your chance to win a free big game square. Do you have Spotify?
I do have Spotify. That's my main podcast.
So I feel like I'm the only person in the world who doesn't use Spotify.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't even have
So when Apple changed to they changed something about it, and it made it really annoying to try and find your podcasts and download them. So I left Apple. I went to Google Podcasts for a little bit, and it actually had problems with our feed on SGPN.
Yeah.
So I went to Spotify, and I've had no problems with Spotify at all. I love Spotify. I think that's a great podcast medium to consume our content or anything else on SGPN.
Maybe I'll have to download it.
Yeah, it's pretty
because I'll throw Pandora on at the house, and my kids are like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, it's got a good if you're working on the computer, it's got a good desktop app too. It's really nice. So,
Word.
All right, $7,000 range. I know it's rough. So, actually, hold on. There's one guy I forgot in the 8,000. Ben Griffin, popular.
So popular.
God, he fits a lot of stuff I'm looking for this week, though.
So he's like another guy who I think about when John talked to me about my love for Justin Lauer. How many shots have you seen Ben Griffin fucking hit?
A lot. He was in contention in Bermuda, and he actually did pretty well last week at Farmers for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he also did T12 at Sony, T3 at Bermuda, T24 Sanderson, T16 Houston. Yeah. Guy's kind of been a top 40 machine. I've been making a lot of money off Ben Griffin.
Yeah, that's fair.
Really, 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 really good short iron numbers. It's very limited sample size on POA. The only POA
he's uber popular.
I know he is. I think I'm more interested from a betting perspective than DFS, but that's a guy that I actually think is going to be pretty good this week. Okay. I mean, I don't see much of a difference between this field and the Bermuda Championship field. You're just adding basically Hovland, Fitzpatrick, and Spieth to this mix. It's basically the Bermuda. And quite honestly, I don't really see much of a difference between like some of these golf courses and what they offer and what's offered at the Bermuda either, other than a change in grass.
No.
Okay.
All
right. $7,000 range. So Brendan Todd's popular in DFS. I can.
No, he's not. Is he?
He is. Yeah, because he's.
He is. Look at that.
He is.
Yeah, I know.
He's got a lot of things you're looking for, though.
Oh, yeah. Good course history.
Yep. A decent course history. Now, a lot of what's funny about him is that all his bad course history was when he went into just a shitter and he was going to be a pizza boy. Not pizza boy. That's disrespectful. He was going to own a pizza franchise. I'm sorry, Brendan Todd. You got a little more money in class than that. But most of his bad history at Pebble is when he was going to go buy a franchise. Whenever he's been kind of on, like in his game is in point, he's posted a lot of respectable finishes.
Yeah.
So listen, he's a name. He's a boring name, but I kind of like him. I like Robbie Shelton too. So last week, what did he do last week? I don't think it went well for him because it's Torrey Pines, not a golf course I'm expecting Robbie Shelton to do very well. I mean, he still made the cut. T6 at Amex, T10 at RSM, T23 at Bermuda, T15 Shriners, T21 Fortinet. Like all those types of
short courses.
Yeah, all those shorter golf courses he's done very well at. Good short iron numbers, good around the green. His iron numbers overall been pretty good. I like me some Robbie Shelton this week. That's really the only guys in the high sevens I kind of like, though. Everything else is kind of uninspiring to me. So,
yeah, I'm writing Robbie Shelton down. I'm going to have to dig into that one a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like anybody up top. I mean, I guess over 7,500. I'm interested in going back to Lanto again.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know about DFS. Maybe not DFS, but yeah, man. I mean, he looked pretty solid last week up until Sunday.
Yeah.
Good course history here, obviously. So yeah, I think Lanto is a solid play, but I don't know about 15% Lanto. That seems a little fucking.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about Lanto is he's a little better from longer range than shorter range, but good putter on POA historically. And I think he's a better player than like Ryan Palmer
SH Kim
or SH Kim or even Webb Simpson now. Like,
so I got him as 16th from 125 to 150.
Okay.
I think it's just the last 24 and how long ago those 24 rounds ago.
Yeah, see, I go like a year or 2 years.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So what about Knox, dude? What the fuck do we do with Knox? He always pops, always looks like he's going to do something, and then he T25s or T50s.
I mean, what's his ownership? Usually
14%.
Usually the more popular Russell Knox is. And by the way, I'm stealing this from Jeff Nagel because he's always been on this. Chalk Knox never really works.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not going back to Higo after he burned me in that fucking matchup. He was playing fine until fucking Sunday, and they just blew up.
He was, and then he started hitting the canyons.
Oh my god, what a dick!
Let's see. How about Grayson Sig? You got anything for him? I kind of like Grayson Sig.
I like Sig just because he's decent with his 150 and in. Now I don't know if I have the POA right in here, but it's top 10 on POA putting. I don't know how many rounds that counts in here, or if it mixes in the wrong type of POA.
Yeah. So let me just give everybody what I'm doing for POA. I'm doing Pebble, I'm doing Torrey. I throw in Silverado, even though it's a bent POA mix, but it's mostly kind of mostly POA now. They haven't really done a good job maintaining those greens. Not great putting numbers. He's lost 3 of 5 with it, but I think just overall, if you look at his profile, pretty good from short range. Yeah, it still is kind of a small sample size, and he's never missed a cut over in California.
That's interesting.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm fine with him. I like to play him anyway. I mean, down here, man, I mean, this is like where, like, make your stand up pop. And I mean, I guess if you're doing, more than like 1 to 3 lineups, just start fucking bird shotting these guys down here to see if you hit. You know what I mean?
Do you got any other names? I got a few more names. Do you got any more you want to rattle off?
No, I mean, Lauer again. Like, just my same fucking guys, man. It's funny to see Danny Willett price down here. It's just funny. I feel like he should have a good history here. Does he have a good course history here?
I don't know if he does, but he just did well at Fortinet Silverado a couple months ago.
I don't have anything from him from 2018 on.
I mean, so his last 3 starts of withdraw, cut.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not great, Bob. I mean,
good.
Streelman, I guess, horse for the course.
Yeah, he's been bad. He's been bad though.
He's been bad lately.
You alwa's been decent lately. Scott Piercy.
Oh, he's such a prick.
Mr. QAnon.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's like betting on like guys who I hate. I just can't do it.
I don't mind using Scott Piercy this week. I don't think his ownership is all that nuts either.
Unlike his views on the world.
Yes, it's only about 7%. I can get behind a little bit of Scott Piercy this week.
I'm fine with it. Like, I guess, like, I won't do it, but I mean, I get why you do it.
Okay, and then some other, like, listen, I got my little pool of Corn Ferry guys.
Yeah, talk to me about some of them.
All right, so Kevin, listen.
Weren't you cussing him?
We did. You were T23, and I just need you to finish in the top 40. Cash on like plus 240. He shot, I think, 77 to finish T42. It's okay. Listen, I understand. You're going to go up and down. Mostly, you've been very good to me throughout most of the fall. I still see a lot of really good iron numbers from you. You can't putt a lick. That's concerning. But I trust your tee to green, and I trust your short iron numbers. And it's $7,300 in this craft field. That's enough for me.
Okay.
Ben Taylor, I think unfortunately you're a little too popular. I think
he's chalky. I've heard his name a bunch.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I mean, so I think what's going on with him is he did well, I think, at Sony, and then he missed the cut at Amex, missed the cut last week, but the 2 shot link measured rounds he showed really well.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if he missed on the number at Amex. I mean, I know.
Yeah, I had no piece of him, so I have no idea.
So I do know, I think if you look at, well, I will say this about Ben Taylor.
Top 20 at Sanderson, 6th at Fortinet.
Yeah. So guys like Ben Taylor, so take your Ben Griffins and your Ben Taylors.
Yeah.
Kind of comparable on paper. Why I prefer a Ben Griffin is that he's brand new in the PGA Tour. He's not a retread. Ben Taylor's a retread.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that's a bad thing. Like Max Homa was a retread, and look what he's done. So sometimes guys just figure it out. But with these guys who lost their card and then came back, that's why it took me a little bit on Robbie Sheldon to kind of like, I was a little more patient with him before I was like, all right, this is actually maybe legit. Ben Taylor still needs a little bit more of my trust, to figure out, was this what he did was just kind of a hot streak, or
do you figure something out?
Yeah, or is he just kind of back to what he was?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, this is going to be really gross for me to say too.
Okay.
I might be coming around on Justin Suh.
Okay.
He makes cuts. That I now what he does over the weekend is not awesome. It's kind of an Austin Smotherman impression at this point. But the guy does have a lot of talent, and he's making weekends, and he's $7,300. He's got good numbers on POA. I think he's a California guy too. The short iron numbers look pretty good on him.
Damn, he gained over 4 strokes putting last week.
Yeah. So, and I don't think it's a fluke because he's from the area.
Right.
I'm starting to come around on. Now this is dangerous because when I come around a guy that I usually hate, it burns me. But I might be starting to come around. I mean, I think he might serve a purpose for you of just making a weekend.
Yeah.
And then Carl Yuan, really, really, really good numbers from under 150. Last couple tournaments, he's been pretty bad. I think he's due to make a cut though. So hold on. So he missed the cut bad, I think, last week.
Yeah.
What he at Amex, he missed a cut. T21 at Sony. I think he's due to make a cut.
Okay.
Although he missed 3 straight cuts in the fall, so we'll see.
Man, I'm not going to shit on any pick down here unless it's Harry Higgs.
What about your boy Austin Eckroat?
No, dude.
No.
He's
got good. His proximity numbers and scoring from under 175 is not terrible.
I got him at 54th in the field from 125 to 150, 125th around the green. He's missed 2 straight cuts, 3 out of his last 5. I'll pass. He's really good off the tee, and no, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
What about Dougie Gim? He's missed 9,000 cuts in a row.
No. Pass.
All right, so Barhoff obviously was supposed to be on tonight, and he told me he bet Jimmy Walker. He'll be on next week, by the way.
Yes.
I know I told you guys he'd be on. He'll be on next week. He thought it was tomorrow, and we didn't feel like doing back-to-back shows. So, so we said, fuck it. Come on, Sue.
No, that's not good for the numbies.
No.
So.
And it's not good for us either, fucking talking that for that goddamn long. It's not good for my marriage either. She's like, when are you fucking done? So he bet Jimmy Walker. I have no idea why.
He played well. He played well last week. He's a former winner.
Yeah, he's a dick, though. Once again, I'll just repeat a quick story. Me and Tommy walking through TPC. Tommy recognizes Jimmy Walker. The only fucking person on the property that would recognize Jimmy Walker and say something to Jimmy Walker, and he blew him the fuck off because he wasn't playing. He was like walking up by the clubhouse. He's like, "Oh shit, this Jimmy Walker. What's up, man?" And he just looked at him and gave him a look. Fuck Jimmy Walker. Fuck him.
Yeah, and by Tommy you mean your good buddy Tommy Fleetwood, right?
No,
no one knows who Tommy is. You got to give context.
If you listen long enough, then you know who fucking Tommy is. He's referenced constantly.
Okay, all right. It's his good buddy who is a magician around the green.
Yes, this is a fact.
That is a stone cold fact. All right, under $7,000. God, this is ugly.
So, all
right.
I don't mind Glover.
Okay.
I don't. A horse for a course, like whatever. Like his numbers from 150 in aren't that bad.
No, they're not.
Well,
it's chippy. It's Lucas Glover. He's still a pretty good ball striker.
Yeah. So whatever. Like,
okay. So, oh my God.
What?
Oh, it's only one round. All right.
Oh.
Can I go over his stat line at Amex?
Yeah. Good one.
All right. So he gained 4 strokes on approach.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Lost 2.4 off the tee. Lost half a stroke around the green and lost 0.9 putting in just one round, though.
Yeah. So
that is quite the round.
That's quite the round. That means it's what's crazy is so he probably put it like in a terrible position off the box and was able to like escape and get it close for the approach number for that approach number.
Yeah, or he holed out a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, blast out of bounds.
Yeah. Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
These guys all suck.
God, he finished T3 at St. Jude last year.
FedEx. I just saw the.
Oh my God!
The same thing. I was like, what? I was like, wait, what?
I don't remember that at all.
Me either.
All right, who else you like down here?
So who else like fucking star? Gotta keep scrolling. Our boy Percy and Amma.
Yes.
Give me some old men around here. Fucking Percy's really good around the green. He's actually surprisingly solid off the tee. He's not long, but he's accurate as fuck. I wish his proximity numbers were a little better. He got cut at the Farmers, but he's got an okay course history.
Yeah, but the Farmers isn't for Percy though.
No, it's not. No, hell no.
No, that was just warm up to him doing good this week.
Yeah.
Listen, can I say something else too? I go on this show and I say certain guys don't deserve their PGA Tour card. No, Cam Percy can still play.
Yeah,
he's had some good performances the last year and a half. That dude can still do it.
Dude, he top 10 Wyndham and he almost first round leaded it.
I know. No. So I don't want him to like think that like I don't think he deserves a card. I think he still can hack it around here for sure. Like his numbers, his iron numbers are still really solid. Now they're kind of old, but listen, whenever he's showing up, like and taking advantage of having these sponsorship exemptions and getting the fields, he's actually done relatively well for a guy, $6,700 that might be an afterthought.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I can definitely get behind a little bit of Cameron Percy.
Yeah, Percy. And then Armour too, man.
Yep.
Like same thing. Like Guy who just knows the course, will get around. How many pro-ams do you think he's fucking played in? He can withstand the pace of play. Do you know what I mean? Like he knows what he's getting into.
Yep.
Yeah, so I like those two, and then under 6,500, I'm gonna need you to help me because I don't think I like it.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I have anybody under $6,500
Okay.
that really highlight on my sheet. I mean, some other guys who are just kind of like meh, whatever. I mean, Austin Cook, I don't think his history here is all that great, but he kind of fits a little bit what you're looking for. Decent iron numbers, at least relatively recently. Proximity numbers, listen, they're all everyone down here. The scoring proximity numbers is mostly going to be kind of bad. He's not horrible. He's a decent putter on POA. It can fit. I mean, Austin Cook courses are kind of like these types of tracks. I don't really mind that. Peter Malnati is pretty good on something like this. He finished T20 last week at Farmers, and he's a really good putter on POA. His short iron numbers historically are pretty good. He's pretty good around the green for $6,800. I think that's okay. We mentioned Brian Armour. Ben Martin. He's been hitting his irons pretty good, at least in the short term, his last 12 rounds. His proximity numbers from under 175 and under 150 over the last year has been pretty good as well. Now, he's not all great putter on POA, but listen, you got to find some stuff here. You're basically
dude, you got to find something down here. Yeah.
Harrison Endicott played pretty well, I think, at Amex a couple weeks ago, and he played really well at Bermuda. Again, I kind of mentioned that this is basically a Bermuda type field. I'm just going to be like kind of similar tracks where pretty much similar things are valued. So, his proximity numbers this year under 175 have been really, really, really excellent. He's good around the green.
Well, you're playing Piercy. You want to play Grayson Murray? You can have like the douchebag team. You can stack them together.
I'm good with Grayson Murray. He's $400 too expensive, I think, for me. So, all right. How about one last fun thing?
All right, what you got?
If you had to play one celebrity in your DFS lineup, who would you play?
Oh, hold on. I got to pull it back up. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Why? Do you already know who you're going to fucking pick?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a pretty good golfer.
He is. He's not bad.
Yeah. So according to his game handicap, he's 2 handicap.
I don't believe any of that shit, by the way.
Okay.
I just don't trust those stupid numbers.
Okay. I think I'll probably.
How many pictures do I send you that I can't fucking find? 2020.
I think I'll do Rodgers. California guy, probably pretty good on POA. Decent handicap. I think I'd rather play Aaron Rodgers in my lineup instead of Kevin Chappell.
What about? Well, Fitz is a good golfer.
Who?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Well, yeah, I think he's a handicap manipulator. But he's been pretty good here.
He's a handicap manipulator.
So he teams, I think, with Streelman every single year, and they clean up the Pro-Am.
Yeah, I know.
I think his handicap's actually like a 10.
Dude, this is a strange fucking list of fucking celebrities.
Yeah. You got Josh Allen. You got
who's
Larry the Cable Guy here again?
Who's Millennium? What is that? I don't even know who that person is. Brett Baer, is that the douchebag from Fox News?
Yeah, actually, I passed by Brett Baer at the Masters.
Did you?
He walked right past me.
He looks like a GI Joe. His head is very square.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who Gareth Bale is. Do you know who that is?
Oh, a soccer player. Oh, he's pretty good golfer.
What about Harris Barton? You know who that is?
Harris Barton, no.
Kira Dixon.
Does she work for Golf Channel? I think she does the interviews now.
Thomas Keller.
He's a chef, celebrity chef.
Charlie Kelly. Like that's fucking from Always Sunny. It's not a real person.
No, isn't that Charlie Day?
Oh no, but his name in the show is Charlie Kelly.
Oh, okay.
And then I know most of the rest of them. Lucas Nelson, I don't know who's that.
Is it Willie Nelson's kid?
Oh,
I think it actually is.
Makes sense because Scott Eastwood is playing as well.
Okay.
Jake Owen, I don't know who the fuck that is.
That's a country singer.
Schoolboy.
I think Jake Owen is actually pretty good.
Schoolboy Q, who the fuck is that?
Probably a rapper.
Oh my god. Ben Rector.
Is Chris Berman still in the field? That's what I need to know.
Nah, he's not on this. So the old heads, it's Ray Romano, Buster Posey, Steve Young,
Buster Posey's not an old head.
Oh, I meant sorry. He was underneath Bill Murray. No, okay. Buster. It's so weird that Buster Posey. Wait, who I would bet on and who I'd want to play with?
Okay. No, just you'd have to include one in your DFS lineup. Actually, now that you said it, I think probably Jake Owen is who I want to put in. He's a stick.
Who the fuck is Jake Owen?
I think he's a country singer, but he's a pretty good golfer though.
Is Eric Church? He's a country singer, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd take Fitz.
You want Fitzgerald? Okay.
Fitz. Yeah,
I'll probably take Jake Owen on my team. All right.
Who would you play with out of that list though? Like if you had to play in the program, who would you play with?
God. Is Timberlake in the field? He seemed like he'd be a good hang.
No. So all right. So like,
all right.
You got Will Arnett. He'd be good. I bet. Nate Bargatze. I don't know if you know. Like
I don't know who that guy is.
He's hilarious.
Okay.
Jason Bateman. That would be.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Josh Duhamel.
Oh, Duhamel. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. How would you say it? Bill Murray, obviously.
No, I don't think I want to play with Bill Murray.
I don't know, man. The stories you would get to tell, like
his shtick. Yeah, but he knows he's the clown this weekend, and I think by the 8th hole, I'd be like, I'm over.
Yeah, that's fair.
You throwing your club, all that stuff. Like, I think I'm good. And you'd have to do that 3 straight days with him.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Then you got Alfonso Ribeiro.
Nope.
You don't want to play with Carlton?
Again, he's the clown this week. Everyone wants to do the Carlton.
He's serious.
No, he's going to do the Carlton after he makes a putt. You're going to do that at least once around. I don't want to be there for it. I'm going to be like, I'm good.
Ray Romano would be good.
Yeah, Ray Romano's okay. He's kind of a crotchety old guy now.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy to play with him, because I'm getting to be crotchety old guy.
I think we spent more time with celebrities in the $6,000 range.
Yeah, we probably did. I think I'd play with Bargatze or Bateman. I think is who I'd play with.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Are any Patriots in the field? Is Steve Belichick in the field?
No. Gross.
Is Bill in the field?
No, Bill's not in the fucking field.
Okay.
He played one year, didn't he? He played with
I thought he played the celebrity, like the one in Tahoe.
Maybe that's what it was. I swore he played fucking Pebble, because Brady and him played in Pebble, I believe, one year.
He did. Yeah.
One year when we got eliminated. Back when my team was good. It's not fucking good anymore.
All right. Do you want to save our hours for tomorrow, or do you want to go over them now?
Nah, tomorrow.
Okay. All right. How many do you have?
I got 3 right now.
Okay.
But 2 very small, because I still don't know if I'm going to do what we talked about earlier.
All right. I got 7, but
Jesus
I didn't bet on anybody under 30.
Nobody under 30?
Nobody
oh yeah, I guess because I bet Seamus at 25.
And actually, I only bet one guy under 50 this week.
Really? What happened to long shots don't fucking win, Steve?
I'm going to be honest. I think everybody between 30 and 90 is the same.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah, let's save it for tomorrow.
Okay. All right, that's it then.
All right, buddy. All right, well, tomorrow night is just us, right?
No, we got Byron Ledecky at Monomaniacs coming on.
Oh, nice, Byron. Nice. Byron's coming on. I think he just got nominated. I think he got nominated for like Golf Writer of the Year.
Did he really?
He did, man.
Wow.
I'm pretty fucking sure.
All right, we're going to have to ask him about that.
Yeah. That's right. I couldn't. It's so funny. I was literally thinking about that while we were recording. I was like, dude, we fucking double book next week because we pushed Bear off, and I know we got Pamela next week too.
Yep.
But yeah, sweet man. You got the South African fucking coming on here.
Yes, we do.
Beautiful. So
we can ask about his thoughts on EVR this week.
Oh, that's a good point. I
probably got all the intel.
I can ask him if he's been to the one place I've been to in South Africa. See if he's been there.
Very good.
And then. Yeah, man. Other than that, good show. Fucking 48 minutes out of Pebble DFS. 15 minutes was, celebrities, but whatever, it works. So anyway, you know a way to find us. Go check Steve's article out at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Go find him and me sometimes in the Discord. You can follow me on Twitter at Boston_Capper. And other than that, let's fucking break DraftKings this week. Let's do that. How's that? Let's fucking go.